Plug-in hybrids seem to have come out a little prematurely. A lot of the manufacturers came out with them in 2014, and then most of them gave up by 2016, with a few stragglers that gave up in 2019. California said all new cars sold in the state must be EVs or other zero emissions by 2035. I just have a hard time fathoming in 10, 11 years them hitting 100% on that. Hi, this is David with EV World News. We're talking about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock markets. I'm in studio today with our founder and chief editor, Bill Moore. How's it going, Bill?
Good. Well, no, it's afternoon. A good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, so we're starting a little later today than normal. I wanted to talk about a little article. It's about Biden's EV policy will slow innovation. This is a weird take on what's going on. I think, I'm not sure how this is supposed to play out. Had Biden not taken any actions, the marketplace would have progressed and the transition from gas-powered cars to EVs, that is, if American consumers wanted EVs, would have progressed farther. If he wanted EVs to be produced by American car companies, after discussion with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, the White House issued the following statement. Today, Ford, GM, and Stellantis announced their shared aspiration to achieve sales of 40 to 50% of annual U.S. volumes of electric vehicles, battery electric, fuel cell, and plug-in hybrid by 2030. I think that's probably, we talked about EV adoption. They don't really have to pledge or aspire. We know from, the technology adoption rates and how 5 years ago in California, they were about 5%, and now the whole U.S. is beyond 5%. And in reality, by 28, 29, we should be past 25%. And that's just in battery electric vehicles. That's not including plug-in hybrids. The thing is, plug-in hybrids seem to have come out a little prematurely. A lot of the manufacturers came out with them in 2014, and then most of them gave up by 2016, with a few stragglers that gave up in 2019. And now they're bringing some back. And so you'll have some of that. So I don't think that 40 to 50%, that's not like shoving anything down their throat. I think market conditions.
Toyota just announced. What's their best-selling car in the U.S.? Camry, right?
Is it? I thought it was a RAV4, but that's...
Oh, well, now, as far as a sedan, not an SUV, but a sedan, the Camry.
Okay.
They are no longer going to build gasoline only. All future Camrys are going to be at least a hybrid.
Oh, did you? I don't know if you've seen the MPG for the 25 Camry. It's like 44 city and highway. That's really high. I used to own a Camry.
Well, that's basically that's at least 50%, maybe higher than the standard gas model. Most of those get what, 30 miles, something like that, 35 miles.
Right. I had one in the late 80s, so that was a long time ago, and I don't know if I probably got 20 MPG in it, something like that. I mean, that's a huge difference thinking about how much the improvement is. And of course, if you double the gas mileage, you cut the emissions in half too, and the pollution and all that.
Exactly.
Well, except it doesn't cut down on the tire usage, right?
No.
Because people are obviously hot rodding in their Camrys.
Hot rodding in a Camry?
Oh, yeah, and spinning the wheels and, throwing tire particles in there. That story, man. The story's never going to die. I'm still getting ones about how the tires are all full of pollution. It's like, you really read that article? The numbers were so goofy. But California took Biden's goal and upped it. California said all new cars sold in the state must be EVs or other zero emissions by 2035. I just have a hard time fathoming in 10, 11 years them hitting 100% on that. I can see them getting damn close because we know how things have progressed in the Scandinavian countries. But there's a big difference between reaching 90% and reaching 100%.
Yeah, it's always the last 10% the hardest, yeah.
Yeah, squeezing us the last ones. I mean, you're probably, like we talked about the Star Trek episode where what was it, Captain Kirk got in a Ford Mustang that was 300 years old or something like that.
Before he became captain, when he was still a young pre-academy cadet.
Yeah, 300-year-old Ford Mustang. So I think, but of course that would still be a used car, but I'm just saying that it's a challenge to make it work with all cars, so I'm just not real sure about it. And the one thing that it's not so much the passenger cars, it's the commercial side of things. When I say the commercial side, I'm talking more like the trucks that go and pick up from the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach and places like that and are hauling goods into the interior of the country. So it'll be interesting to see where that all plays out, because in the car space, you and I can clearly see where things are headed, right? In the truck space, it's far more ambiguous. There's no question that it's ambiguous in the trucking space. So that's where I kind of see the challenge being, is how they get away from diesel and all that. It'd just be interesting to see, because all of these things are reducing pollution. They're all reducing carbon emissions. It just may not be doing it in the way some people envision.
Well, that's the nature of technology,
Hi, I'm David with EV World News. If you like this video, then please press the like button. If you like the content and would like to see more videos on electric vehicles, then please hit the subscribe button. If you have some feedback for us, please let us know in the comments. Have a great day.